a potential extension for Micah Parsons. Our own Chris Canty had a very interesting take on how that defensive star should handle the situation.
Micah Parsons shouldn't step foot on a football field this fall without a new deal. Micah Parsons is the best player on the damn team, and he's scheduled to make $2.9 million this year. Micah Parsons needs to take a page out of the Ezekiel Elliott playbook and demand that the Dallas Cowboys pay him his money right now.
That's our buddy Canty on ESPN Radio. Dan Orlovsky, you're shaking your head. You agree?
He's 100% right. Micah Parsons shouldn't step on the field without a new contract. Which one of the big three in Dallas is going to play the hard game, the long game? Is it going to be him, Dak Prescott, or CeeDee Lamb? It's going to be hard to pay all three of those guys what they're worth, in my opinion. And Micah Parsons is arguably the most disruptive edge in all of the NFL. Him, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt into that conversation. Greeny, the last player in the history of the NFL to have 12-plus sacks in seasons 1, 2, and 3 of their NFL career is a guy named Reggie White. For $2.9 million, there's no way that Micah Parsons should risk injury, risk lessering his value, if that's possible, by stepping on the field for the Dallas Cowboys. Those guys need all to get paid: quarterback, wide receiver, and defensive end.
This is why I love this time of year, Greeny, because it is show me what I'm worth to you season. And I love that, because this is the time where if you have leverage, if you are star talent, and you know that your team deems that you're special, that you're versatile, that you are a leader, when your name is mentioned with all-time greats, yeah, I can't be making 2.9. Like, that's not enough. Like, that's wild. And unfortunately for the Cowboys, they put themselves in this position, but that's not on Micah. I don't think any player who wants to maximize his leverage should play, especially if he is a cornerstone guy on his team.
Right, I get it. Here's the thing. They're going to have to pay CeeDee Lamb because he is much closer. He is closer to the end of his contract. Dak completely controls his own situation. If I'm Dak, I'm playing it out. I'm not signing a contract if I'm Dak, and I become an unrestricted free agent at the end of this coming season, and I make $1 trillion in my next deal. The interesting one will be whether or not they do Micah Parsons, because the way the contract situation is set up, Dan, he doesn't have a lot of options if he decides to hold out.
Yes, he does. They can't make the playoffs without him.
Right.
The reality is all three of those guys, if either of them held out for any amount of time, significant amount of time this year, the Cowboys cannot make a playoff run, and they won't make the playoffs. I think they're the sixth best team in the NFC right now with all three of those guys. If any one of them, specifically Micah Parsons, says, I'm not playing, they can't make the playoffs. So while he may not have leverage when it comes to the 3 seasons, going into his 4th season, they can't make the playoffs without him.
You expect this to get done quickly? All 3 of these to get done this offseason, Kmart?
I don't know how they're going to do all 3. I don't. To me, Mike is critical, and so I don't know. Dak, I would love for him to play hardball, but will he?
I think they'll get CeeDee and Micah done.
Yeah, if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm not even considering signing a contract.
Should not.
He's going to get $1 gajillion
away from being
someone.
a legitimately great quarterback who's an unrestricted free agent in this league. I can't think of anything better to be than that.